Gemini. Time for a little bit of a April 1st to 7th, 2021 reading for you. So I've already shuffled like mad because I seem to be getting a lot of the same cards over and over and over and over and over. But that can be sometimes a result of coincidence or life conditions out there. I seem to be getting the Tower for everybody lately. It's insane. A lot of people got the Tower during the Twin Towers situation. That was pretty weird. But I guess not surprising because it was rather cataclysmic. Anytime there's an upheaval of any kind, the Tower seems to emerge. So anyway, this is going to be just a reading for the week ahead. And I will do an extra card just to be kind of an overview of that reading. A 12-card reading, as a matter of fact, plus with the extra. 13. Man, that card keeps coming up. And that card. I mean, it's weird no matter how much I shuffle. Because I literally shuffled. I watched 2 shows of shuffling before I started this reading. But then these were your same cards in the overview, a lot of these. So, wow. It's just so weird. Well, maybe there's a reason. Sometimes it all makes sense in the end. The friggin' Tower, there it is. And the World is the overview. Beautiful, wonderful, fabulous. One of the best cards. Wow. So in the overview I did for Gemini, there was this card, there was this card, there was this card. Can't remember if this card was there or not. But at least these 3 for sure were there. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And the World is such a wonderful card. This is actually a fabulous reading because there is so much good stuff in here. So much good stuff. Okay, let's get to it. So this card, 8 of Pentacles. This is definitely a card of somebody working hard to get where they need to go. Financially, or with health, or with security. Usually with financial matters. It's, you know, a card of the worker, and you're taking the steps, and you're doing whatever you have to do to get there. So that's fantastic, and, you know, not always exciting. Could be a bit boring, in fact, depending on what you're doing, but, you know, keep at it. You're on the right path. And this card, like I say, which was also in the overview, is the card of something at its beginning, the beginning of an investment or a new job or something to do with finances or something to do with beginning a new health project, whether it be eating better, you know, getting more sleep or whatever it is you personally need, you know, exercise, embarking on an exercise regimen. Whatever you need to make life better and more secure and longer and, you know, more positive, that's what that's about. And you're starting something, whether it's just in your head at this moment and it's just something you're thinking about, or whether it's something you've started to do. Either way, it's very, very good. This card is a card that can mean a journey, but it can also mean that you're carrying some baggage with you because swords are just thoughts. And those thoughts are not usually positive thoughts. They're thoughts that are bothering you, things that are giving you trauma of some kind. And you can get rid of those thoughts. They're not permanent. Thoughts are completely able to be manipulated by us. We might not be able to control our dreams necessarily, but we can certainly control how we consciously think about things. Or if not control, at least find something different to think about. Or I'm not saying ignore, because, you know, you don't want to ignore what your mind is telling you, obviously. And if there's a reason that you have to deal with something to change the programming in your head, after all, we're basically just very, very, very complicated computers. Computers so complicated it makes, you know, the computers we use all the time look simple. You can get rid of a lot of that programming, and you can certainly get rid of the way you talk to yourself about these events, because things are only as important as we think they are. If we don't give something importance, it doesn't have any. So you can change that. So get rid of these bad thoughts. Concentrate on your projects and whatever you're going to set into motion and whatever you're doing to make things happen to go the way you want them to. This is important. This is important, but it has to be changed so that you can move ahead in a good way. Page of Pentacles. I love this card with a passion. It's all about, it can mean a person, an inventive child or young person who likes to take things apart, likes to create things, very intelligent, always learning, very alert, kind of brilliant. It's a great, fantastic card. It can also mean a message about something related to, you know, your health, or a message about something financial or something creative. I mean, can mean a message, but usually I find it could be something in you, or it could be an actual person. If you don't know an actual physical person who this represents in your life, then it probably is part of you, or maybe some part of you you want to tap into. Maybe you have an idea for an invention. Maybe that's what this is all about. Something very good and creative. Now this card is a wonderful card, the Three of Cups, a card of celebration. I always think of this as my three daughters celebrating for some reason. It's a party, it's fun, it's celebratory, it's good. Something good is happening here. Sometimes this card comes up for marriage or engagement. Some people read this card as being like a threesome, like there's a third party that's causing troubles. But, you know, I'm sorry, I haven't really read that card this way ever. Nothing has come up around it to suggest that. Ever, I don't think, in the people I've ever read for. And I mean, you know, I don't understand why the card would look so happy if it means something like that. So I don't read it that way. And maybe the celebration is something to do with love. This card is sometimes referred to as the arrows of love, although the general meaning of the card is something's going to happen, fast and furious, some action, something's going to be put into action. You're going to put something into action, probably. Or something is going to come to you very fast, very, very, you know, straight as an arrow, like just boom, some thing is going to come into your life, or you're going to start something and it's going to go off like a rocket. Something very, very good. This is very positive. And the star is a really great card because it always reminds us, and I hate the word hope in the sense that it sounds like, oh, I just wish everything works out, and that's not how life works. But a lot of people literally don't have hope. I mean, can't even latch on to the idea that things are going to work out right. And they are. They can. They will. We have to make it happen. And so have that hope. Have that positive idea that everything's going to work out. We're going to make it work out. You are. You know, jump on that bandwagon and put all your positive energy into making things work. I mean, you have the world. The world is a card of completion and excellence. And that is going to be, you know, what happens for you. This is going to be a brilliant week. I want you to really hang on to that and make stuff happen. Stuff is happening here. You're working here. You're working here. You're putting something into action here. You're working hard here to create wealth and financial stability. You're working here to do something in action. This is, you know, sort of, these cards kind of play off of each other. And they are, you know, two people working at different areas of something possibly related. You know, your work is the thing you're putting in action, but it might be the thing you're also doing for financial stuff. Or you could be doing two different things. I don't know what it is in your personal case, but you are doing things. You are not just sitting around, which is fantastic. The Lovers, right by the Three of Cups. Maybe the celebration is about this situation. Maybe that's what's coming in fast. Or maybe you already have somebody you're in love with. But this is a beautiful card of great, deep love. You know, who doesn't want the Lovers? I mean, the Lovers, the world, you're happy, you're celebrating, there's hope, everything's good, you're putting things into motion. I mean, this is all good stuff. The Tower is never really good because it means like all this upheaval and calamity. But I wouldn't worry too much because everybody's getting this card right now. And I think it's because the world is in such a state of flux and insanity. So I have a daughter who always says to me, oh, you should never read anything for like the current situation. She also reads cards. And she does not believe in you know, reading anything for the current situation. Like, just forget about that and read what is for the person. And I think there is something to that, but at the same time, when everybody's getting this stupid card, I mean, unless you have something specific where there's a lot of upheaval, I never worry about this card when I get it, because no matter what it is, it always means change. And usually on the other side of this upheaval is something really good. So I would not worry. And then there is always the hope that the future is going to be very, very bright. Um, People think I read too positively sometimes, but because I actually believe we influence it greatly. So I think if you look at the bright side of these cards, you can put a lot of it into action. And if you believe it and take the steps to put that belief into action, I think that we can alter anything, or almost anything. And whatever this is probably something you don't have any control over anyway, because you can't change the entire world. Well, we can change the world. We influence the world with every step we take. But you know what I mean. You can't be everywhere at once, and you can't do everything, and you can't control everybody else's behavior. So when I get this card, I do not worry about it at all, and that is the truth. This card is a card of a fellow looking at his world and trying to figure out, where he's been, where he's going, what's next, what's the next step, which is something we all need to do quite regularly, I would say. I mean, not obsessively or anything, but it's good to know. Especially the people who do this even more. I'm not a big planner, but in Gemini, you could be or you could not be, depending on your personality. But if you are a planner, it's always good to really reevaluate everything all the time. So, keep that in mind. The Knight of Cups is very charming, and it could be a messenger, somebody who's very good and forthright and brave and strong. Could be a person. If you know this person, if somebody like that, it could be him. Could be a quality you have yourself. Somebody who's going after passion, something passionate. Could be love. Could be putting something else in action. The job thing, the life thing, just anything you're going after. Just trying to make your life great. Trying to create good relationships. Forge solid, good, happy, positive relationships. Be close to people. Be passionate about work and whatever else you're doing. I mean, this night's a good night to have. If he's real person that he's a really good night to have. And if he's part of you, he's an even better thing to have. So that's fantastic. And the World, one of the very best cards you can get. It's completion, it's happiness, it's everything. I mean, look at this woman. She's in her element. Everything's good. So this is a lovely reading, generally. I mean, I don't think you have anything too enormous to worry about here. I think it's going to be a good week for you. So, Gemini, you have a great week ahead, and I will talk to you soon.